Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome to Dyson Sphere Program, where we are probably going to be building a massive processor factory today because we need them and it's getting kind of silly. And I'll be honest, while I was just grabbing stuff to prep for today's episode, I did just start queuing up like 20 minutes of processors in my inventory, and we need to have this done. Like, we've been meaning to do this for a few episodes. Things have got in the way, but it is time, and we are going to be building a process factory not on our own planet. We're going to be building it on Eta Ciceri 2, which I'm going to have to dodge a gas giant to get there. But oh, come on, don't mess with me with your gravity. Right, cool. So while we're en route, let's have a look. So Eta Ciceri 2 is one that we haven't really been to. It's the other side of the star right now, but it has a whole load of silicon, like 12.5 million. Not much iron, but a lot of copper. Load of stone, bit of coal, and it has 114% solar energy. Whereas if we have a look over here, load of iron, load of copper, not very much silicon, and processors are very much dependent on silicon. So we are going to pop over to Eta Ciceri, and because we've actually really maxed out the silicon ore over here, we've got everything being mined, it would mean either not producing refined silicon here and just producing processors instead, or starting a whole new factory and everything over on Eta Ciceri, which is what we're going to do. So I have done a couple of things ahead of time, because obviously our standard procedure for anything with a positive percent of solar energy rather than being below 100, this is 114, is to dump a whole load of solar panels, and that's what I've done. I've gone while I was preparing and placed a load of solar panels. You'll see them in a second. Bam! There we go. Ta-da! This is our belt of solar panels. It's a 3-wide belt. It's not actually finished, unfortunately. I ran out of solar panels here. But if we actually have a look at it right now, it'll tell you that it provides 171 megawatts. Consider a home planet right now is providing 350, and that's with fusion, with a whole load of graphite. This is pretty good. And obviously this is continual. And just in case it isn't continual for whatever reason, I believe... where are the accumulators? Here we go. A huge block of accumulators that provides a whole load of stored charge. It's currently providing 9 gigajoules of stored charge if we need it. So that's mostly because the belt wasn't complete, and I was like, okay, if we don't complete the belt for the episode, at least we've got the accumulators full of charge. But I actually have a few more solar panels to be able to place down. So I am going to finish placing these solar panels, and I'll be honest, they aren't perfectly spaced. You will see occasionally there's like little ripples in the line where I haven't perfectly spaced them. That's because instead of just placing them carefully, it gets a bit tiring. So I've just been doing this, just walking forwards and just spamming left click to make sure they're done. And while it doesn't always perfectly work, it does a good enough job. There we go. Anyway, I'm going to speed up time, and once I finish this belt, or at least I've used all the solar panels on me, whichever comes first, we'll start on our processor factory. And 16 solar panels left. The loop is complete, provides 222 megawatts with 9 gigajoules. So in theory, even if all the solar power cut off, we could run this thing for what, like 4 times 9, what, 36 seconds? A bit more, like 40 seconds. Wow, okay. Now, we will eventually maybe want to make this a 5-wide, so that's just something I'm going to bear in mind for now. But we have a whole load of prep stuff on us, and in fact, we are powered by deuterium fuel rods right now, and they are doing amazingly. Like, seriously, we've used like 10 in all this setup time, and this setup time took a lot. One thing I will do is I'm just going to move these accumulators because I didn't actually bring power poles when I placed these, so I had to use them as power poles. Boop, 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 boop. And then... Wait, I lack item? Oh, I guess it's full. Fair enough. How many more do I have? Got 5 more. Ah, perfect. I have to admit, this is like a ridiculous number of accumulators. We probably don't need this many, but I am kind of prepping this world to be a major industrial hub. The downside is it doesn't actually have that much iron on it, so it can't be a major industrial hub that I was thinking. And since iron is our limiting resource, I think that's the one to start off with. Now, there are 2 blocks of 10. That might be it. So let's start with those. First block of 10 iron is here. Let's get you set up. Mining. There we go, miner. Now, if you wouldn't mind... One... 2... This is actually not going to be good. We might end up even shipping the iron over from the other planet. Okay, that gives us the green belt. A little more than a green belt. We could potentially up this. I don't know if we have enough space. We might need to move a few more solar panels. But I don't know if we're going to get more than a green belt. We'll leave that for now. And we'll go in search of that next deposit of iron. Now, I believe we should be able to see it from the equator. The equatorial line, by the way, is actually pretty decent. There's only a 7-degree inclination, which compared to our lava planet, which is a 36-degree inclination, a little bit different. Where is this iron? Around it somewhere. I'm guessing I went like the wrong way around to see it. I bet you it was the other way. Yes, I could have used the map. I'm fully aware. There we go. I hate using maps because then I know I'm wrong. Anyway, 10 veins. Yeah, again, not very much. We'll see how this works. But for this to be fully functional, we need... I think this is 24 ore per second. That other one is getting us 14 point something, so this should be okay. Between them, they'd be able to do it. Obviously, I was hoping that we could get a bit better on iron, like enough that we might be able to export a little bit, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Okay. This is going to be plenty. In fact, our number of miners should just equal the number we're getting out of here. Now, how far apart are they? They are pretty much exact opposite sides of the planet. But we could send them via drone, but I am pretty tempted to do something ridiculously elaborate with this world, and that is have bands of ore that we just attach to running near these, and then that way we just attach all the ore down to the equator, and then from the equator we pull up to a large smelting array. Probably put the smelting array like here or here, you know, where there's a pretty big open space. Here's actually a really good place. Now, that would mean that we need several bands going around the equator, and they need to be Mark IIIs to really get the best throughput. So, it has its downsides. But I think it's probably worth it. Now, this is enough that it needs a Mark III belt anyway. The other choice is using drones. And while we could do that, that would mean we need to put drones everywhere. Or at least we need to put drones just for iron and nothing else or something. And ultimately, not that fun. I'll be honest, having a giant band is kind of more fun to me. That's the only reason. I'm fully aware that it might not be optimal Okay. Okay, and then we'll want to put power up here. Now, we won't put the band round right now, but that can be like a future plan. What we need to do is feed our band towards this, or the other way, and then this is our smelting array. So, yeah, smelting array is going to be this way, so the band's going to travel this way from our last deposit. So we'll go to our last deposit and we'll start from there. So, just trying to like measure out distances. This is kind of like the width we're looking at. We'd want a gap here. Let's cut that off, actually. Seriously? Thank you. We'd want a gap there, then this could be the band. And this is obviously iron ore, which probably not the best band to put on the inside, because it's not going to be attached to very often, because there's only 2 deposits of iron ore. So if we say that's going to be silicon, copper, iron. I mean, technically there's also stone and coal, but we'll say this is going to be our... There we go. And then... Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Technically, we'd have to put like a bypass system every time something joins the array, just so that it doesn't clog up one belt. Not as worried with iron. We go the wrong way? No, we are going the right way. It's just a long way. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. This planet, we're very much coming to like the planet's entire design with a mindset, right? I have a plan for this planet. I don't know whether it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be applicable for most planets, but I have a plan in mind for this planet. Hopefully, it's something that I won't get too many angry comments about. Right, let's bring you up to here. And boop. 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 Now, because there's not much iron on the planet, I'm not too worried. Yeah, it's the only 2 iron deposits. I'm not too worried about, like, having an extra through flow, etc. Blah, 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 blah. This is basically just more than a green band. And I believe the other one is in a similar state. Oh, I need to provide you power. Right, and that means up there. Ooh, they would have slightly more than a blue band. There would ever so slightly be more. Well, best practices and all that. And also kind of like as an example for the future. This is what we'd be doing. Well, whatever. That would go in there, that'd go in there, that'd go in there, and then this would go out. Yeah. Ah. And then we'd make sure that that's the primary out. That way, we only ever pull from the second if we need to. It might be more excessively pleasing to, like, pull them in afterwards. Okay. And then where are we going? We are going to this large area here. I mean, admittedly, we could use this, but the accumulators are kind of in the way. So what we'll do is we'll go and then we'll cross ahead near where that silicon vein is here. And the number to bear in mind is kind of like 20 plus, what was it, 14 or something? So we're looking at maybe 34 in the way of smelters, rather than the 24 that we're actually going to be needing. Because I'm planning to make a full green belt of processors. This is why this is such a large kind of setup. Right, that's the silicon vein that we're looking for. We might end up going back for like more belts or something. I do realize this is a lot of belts to ask for. Okay, and then, yeah, this is basically where we cross. And we will go high immediately just because the other belts are going to have to go underneath and do something similar. Well, that looks kind of different. Try that again. I just want them to be, like, the same. Oh, did we not finish up here? Right, there we go. Lovely. Now, we could mirror the thing on the top here and be like, right, we'd also have ore belts going the other way and whatever. That seems wise. So if we are going to do that, then it'd be like that. The lines here mark belts, so it would be a belt there, belt there, and this would be iron, except there wouldn't be any iron. Because obviously there's no iron on this planet, but whatever. Stay high for a while longer. Whoops. Stay high for one more. Yes. I think. No, that's wrong. Because it's the inside that you meet. So it'll be like that. And then... I think I got that one wrong. Anyway, either way, it doesn't matter that much. Again, iron isn't going to be a thing. So, we need to then feed these into 2 smelter arrays. And the smelter arrays, what we'll do is they are going to output fixed ratio. So, we'll probably just want like a pretty standard bam, bam. Oh, do we want to take it further away on the basis of there might be stone and copper bands here? Like in the theory that there might be a stone, not copper, coal. Just in case there is. Sure, why not? And then that will be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There. And then, boop. Okay, so ore's on the outside and then refined on the inside. Now, what was it? 34, I believe. Smelters. We'll make it 36 just to be generous. Which means this is going to need to be a very long run. Again, I don't know if I've packed enough provisions for this. Tried. Either way, with the Deuteron fuel rods, it's not exactly a long trip back. Smelter! 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Iron. We're not making magnets here, so we're going to have to get magnets from another planet if we're planning to actually ship the raw resource. Okay, so it's probably every 2 we'll need these. So then gap. Then gap. That is 10. So we'll go to 12. We'll do the same on this side, but they're slightly different staggering. And that means we should be able to fit you in there and then do that. That'll get everyone. Okay, so that's 12 on each side, so it's 24. We want to go for another, what, 6 on each side? 1, 2, 3, 4. Break 2. 1, 2. Break 1, 2, 3, 4. Not as bad as I thought. Right, and then provide power. Ah, we could totally do that. Then we wouldn't need to run an actual... Whatever, we can replace it later on. We'll just use normal power poles for now. $224 megawatts. Very nice. And that is getting us loads of our iron. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to be basically an extensible smelting area. The only issue is it does get very close to this because the way we're going to be stacking them. Oh well. Can make it work. Yeah, iron, because it's one of the further out, should be the first out here, but whatever. Right. We could go the other way? Maybe. No. What we'll do is we'll just go in for the next one. So I'm just going to set up a few arrays like this that we can feed into. Now, the one that is going to be ridiculous is the refined silicon, where we need 96 smelters because we need multiple blue belts. We need 1.6 blue belts. That is going to require 3.2 blue belts of ore. 96 ore. And obviously, that's a lot of ore. That's 4 theater belts. That's a lot of ore. So we're going to have to set up like a really huge smelting array, but that's fine. We did say it was going to be like silicon on the inside. I don't know why that made sense to me, because that's obviously dumb. You know what we'll do? Maybe make an addition, alteration, something like that. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm also going to just extend these belts, because we are going to want both copper and silicon provided. So I'm going to make alterations. Oh, I'm outside of build range. Okay. Sorry. We're going to start, like, preparing the entire planet to be a production powerhouse. We might end up needing to import iron, in which case we can just import the iron either as ore and then smelt it here with our power, or we could import the actual iron ingots, but that's just a case of putting in towers and then feeding it into the existing lines. Like, the lines are set up for a reason. But I will probably just go and put these bands around the planet, and then we'll start feeding into them. One thing I kind of feel I want to change is changing iron, because it's on the outside. If we're feeding it into it often, it should be on the outside. We're feeding into it very infrequently. So I feel that we should switch that over. And because we're planning for the future here, I will make these adjustments now. Oh, actually, this second line is in the wrong place. This second line should be on the outside, because if it's on the inside, the second line here is on the inside. Ah, I've done the dirt. Okay. Well, the good news is that thanks to the miracle, I'll delete that for the moment, that is sorters, we can actually pull from the higher level here. Ah, but we want to be able to run the second band. The second band would have to be like there, and then we'd have to... It's possible. It's kind of annoying. I really wish that sorters didn't have this bounding box. It's very frustrating. Then we run the extra iron band there instead. And then... Now, in theory, we could just run it out the back and around. But that would mean that we wouldn't have a band coming in this direction already or something like that, I think. Either way, we're going to go fix this ore problem. Basically, we're going to keep intaking ore from here. And then when it's all flowed through, we'll fix it. I will definitely need to be going and grabbing more blue. So, welcome back. I may have accidentally just lost a chunk of footage in the middle there, but I have set up a load of mining for silicon, and we have effectively 4 locations, each of which is putting out a blue belt worth of silicon. We're going to refine these rather than take them all the way around the other side of the planet. I realize that I'm taking them quite far as it is, but they will get reduced. You reduce the amount of silicon to half by refining it, because refined silicon takes 2 silicon ore. So effectively, by putting a smeltery here, we save having to take it all the way to here, which is still like what, 1/6 of the globe? Yeah. As much as I like the idea of like a huge smeltery. That's mostly just like, hey, I like the idea. It's not actually a good one. I'm willing to make some concessions, like the whole, let's not do this with logistics, let's do this with a belt that goes around the equator, because that's just kind of cool. I just like the idea that we can see our constructions from orbit and stuff, but ultimately, to an extent, logistics would just be better on this. Like a logistics tower each mine or something, and then smelt them at a central location, or we maybe smelt each mine or whatever. Anyway, we're going to bring you out. And then come over. And bring that in. I've just got to connect up all these mines. I've also done copper. Unfortunately, we lost that, which sucks. But copper is now hooked up to the main line that goes around the planet. Kind of like a main bus, but very limited. It's for a very specific purpose. Right, that one. Ooh, still a little bit more to hook up. Give me my drones. Thank you. Unfortunately, I fly faster than the drones, so it can be a bit of an issue letting the drones catch up. There we go. And then there. Right. Bring this down to here, and across. And across, and then down, and hook all these lines up. Now, this will get us a truly large amount of refined silicon and will allow us to expand for the future, which we will desperately need. Processors are going to be like a really hard bottleneck. Maybe just refined silicon in general. So this will have excess. It's going to be 4 belts of silicon ore, and I believe we only need 3.2 belts of silicon ore. These are Mark 3s, obviously. Okay. So, boop. 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 Where do we need them? This way, isn't it? Yeah, so the easiest way is going to be just do 4 really long strips of smelters. Now, because they go down at a 2-to-1 ratio, what we'll be having is smelters facing inwards. So it will be something along the lines of 1, 2, 3, like that, and then 1, 2, 3. I guess I should be there. That'll be our out. 1, 2, 3. That'll be the next feeder line. So you'd go down to here. There'd be a gap of 1, 2, 3. Next output line. 1, 2, 3. And then the next raw line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Oh, right. No, actually, this is wrong. We'd have 2 lines next to each other. Yeah, because they're both facing inwards. So this would be the last one. I was wondering what was wrong with my calculation there. 1, 2, 3. Bam! Yes, that looks like it works. And this will get us 2 belts of refined. And the way to do that is going to be a simple case of smelters. And I believe we will need 120 smelters because it's 30 on each track. And it takes 2 seconds to make you. Yes. So 120 smelters, 30 on each track. Luckily I brought enough. Okay. So 1, 2, and then this is going to be effectively everything from now on. And this is a very long strip of smelters, like really ridiculous. We'll need to make sure we have power properly spaced between these as well. But since this is going to be a very long strip of smelters, I'm going to close my inventory because I don't know why I still have it open. And we're going to just go for a wander. There we go. This is nowhere near long enough yet. My poor drones, though. They're doing their best, bless them. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, they are the right width. It'd be sucky to have to redo this. The power output, I'm guessing, is gonna be somewhere in the region of like 140, maybe 150 megawatts for the entire processor assembly we're building. That might be long enough. We'll have to see. Obviously, doing more is not a bad thing, especially if it doesn't end up getting filled with ore, because currently it's attached to the power system. That's not an issue. Oh, crap. Ugh. Luckily, chain dismantle really helps there. Also, being able to shift-click just even things like belts to be able to copy them really helps me having to not go into all the stuff down here. Alright, drones, do your worst. It's a big hole. We should probably fill in that hole. So look how much to go with the horizon. Oof. So just nick the soil out of there. Some of these are very nice for being able to just get a lot of free soil. It's like a few million soil really easy. Right, drones. You know, we can do this as you go. There's going to be plenty to work on. You will be making refined. We'll copy that recipe. Then feed in, feed out, feed out, feed in. Okay. Then we need to obviously leave gaps for the power pole. I don't know if we're going to have room, like, ones, like, saying we can put the power pole in somewhere else. Actually, this is wrong. Because of the way this lays out, we won't be able to get a power pole at the end on this one. So this one should have the power pole near. This one should go 4. Obviously, this is 120, so we're going to be counting a long way. So 4. 8. I guess maybe I do this in, like, fast time. 12. Yay! 10% of the way there. 16. I believe we're 8 short. We need to get to 60 on it. Wait, no, we need to get 30 on each one? 30 on each one. It's 120 in total. I was trying to do 120 on one and I was like, wait, no. It's 30 on each. Okay, this is way more than we need. Okay, there we go. That is 30. Do not mind my insanity. The great thing now is because we've placed that and counted them out, the next one would be easier. It's not going to be easier, is it? Nope, because of this. Also, we might actually run out of sorters. That would be bad. Alright, that's beautiful. Perfectly lines up. We now just got to replicate that on both other rows. Although that said, since we're here, let's truncate all of those. Right, now just to repeat this feat a few times. Okay, that is the entire array done. And instead of bringing the refined over here, we'll just send it directly over. Hell, in fact, we don't even know where the refined is actually gonna go, if we're completely honest. Also, what are these strips? I keep forgetting what these strips are for. Oh, this is the end of the line. It just was too far away for us to do a chain delete. Ah, okay. Alright, well, we'll bring you over. And we'll bring you there. And then you will bring out, down, and then next to. There we go. Do we want to try and use a balancer of some sort? We're probably fine for now. There's no real need to try and do anything fancy with balancing. Balancing the output might help if we have any issues, but I can't be asked. I'll be honest, I'm being lazy. Okay. And then as soon as we hook this up, we should get power. And then, obviously, when we hook this up, we should get power. But what I mean is, we should get mines. Okay. That's a full belt, that's a full belt, that's a basically full belt. And then we should see... pretty much full belt. Not quite full, which is interesting. I'm actually going to go fix that. That's bugging me. What is the issue with this one? 30.3, which means it should be a full belt, but it's not. It might be to do with the joining process. There. Yeah, that's definitely better. Still occasional. You know what? Sod it. We've got space here. Sorters are efficient at this, so there. This one looks fine. This one looks fine, and this one less so. I mean, technically it will always have small gaps, but I feel that maybe we could just improve on it a little bit. There. Come on, cursor. Thank you. We have one miner left. Wow. We've used, like, 60 miners or something. More than that, maybe? PT? Oh, you're actually not powered. Not we really need you, but just in case. And that means that we should be seeing beautiful beams of refined silicon heading over to where this is actually going to be copper. I know it says iron. We'll change that now. It's going to be copper. Now, I mentioned that we had lost some of the footage from where I set the copper up. So I'll just go show you that. Seriously? Too far out of range? Okay. There we go. Do. So here's our copper beam. I don't know why I call things beams. I mean belt. I call a run of like a machine coming from a belt, I call a beam. I don't know why I'm calling this beam. And here's our copper, because there were two deposits quite close together here, so we just have them feeding down, and one of the miners actually feeds into both, so it just fills in any gaps. And then we have a little complicated splitter things, so if we ever connect any on the back, they'd be all hunky-dory. And then how's our power grid, by the way? We're demanding 60 something. Plenty. Hello, home. Then they come over to here. So what we're going to do is effectively bring them up next to this. I believe, just trying to check if they're like level. Yes, we can do that. Okay. Because going over solar panels is like the litmus test, because that's what we need out of them. Okay. Endpoint must be horizontal. Okay. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. Sure, I don't really care too much that it doesn't, like, it's not the most efficient at turning. Like, we can actually get them to go and do this, where you say, oh, the endpoint is horizontal here, you chop the endpoint, and then you do an immediate turn, and it allows you to actually turn with that last bit, which we don't need to. The space isn't at a premium here. Then down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. And then bring you up here. Now, which way are they taking in? Okay, they're taking in from here. So, do, and then do. It's just easier if we run them, like, not so they're facing in pairs. What object does this collide with? Okay. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, God. Okay, I'm gonna have to drain that. Whoops. There. It makes it easier so that we can just copy-paste between. That's literally the reason that it's like that. Now, this will need... Each of these is a full belt, so we'll need 30 on each. Much like we have up here, got... Wait, this is not 30. That's 20. We need to extend this. I think I hadn't completed work on this. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 16, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 18. Okay, yeah, so this needs to be extended by another 12. That's fine. I mean, I probably just got distracted. This box, by the way, just has a load of iron that I had to drain from these when I switched the furnaces over. But we should have ourselves all the required components now. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To do processors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, that's like a start. It's not gonna quite cut it, but it's a start. And obviously this is only 18, so this does need to be extended as well. Luckily we have plenty of conveyor belts. That's handy. How many will we need? Many. Specifically like another 2/3 of that, so we'll go to there. And then similar down below. Wait, sneezing? No? Yes. No. Ugh, I hate it when you, like, can't decide whether to sneeze or not. Just get it over with. Like, when you need to sneeze and then sneezing can be very satisfying. And when you sneeze, and when you need to sneeze and you just don't, that's just so frustrating. Anyway, we'll end the episode here, considering that we basically have all the primary resources. We have the kind of setup on the planet. It's looking pretty nice. It's what I kind of wanted out of this. Very much a band. And then with bits going up to the smelteries, etc., that run horizontal. By horizontal, I mean east-west. This is a bit different, but it still kind of fits that purpose. And then we've got our huge array there of silicon, which should make the next step not too difficult. Now, one of the things I kind of wish I could do is reverse belts, because I'd probably at this stage consider reversing these belts since the silicon's coming in from here, and then doing our manufacturing here. But as it is, we'll probably end up switching sides and then doing manufacturing here. Just because I want these to be extensible. And the only other way to do this would be to use, I don't know, the gap in between or something. I was kind of hoping that the gap in between could be left for more iron or more copper, as, you know, needs be. So, we will see how that goes. Yeah, I think we probably will pull them this way, which means that refined is probably going to end up jumping back the other way and then going down as a band across here. Also, you can see one of the breaks there in the line where I misplaced, and that one there. For now, though, have an EnterElysium. Like, subscribe. The algorithm loves it. If you comment as well, And also feel free to check out links in the bio with the link tree, link.ee/EnterElysium. I'll get you access to the Discord and stuff where you can hang out with members of the community and also check out all the videos and stuffs that actually get posted there as opposed to in the subscriber feed where you will never see them. Until next time, stay shiny.